And now let's get to know the man in the flesh. The 13th overall selection by the Chicago Cubs, the pride of the Maryland Terrapins, Matt Shaw. Matt, thanks so much for taking time out. Thanks for joining Sutton and I right here on Cubs Live. Now, you were over at Wrigley Field, obviously a whirlwind, getting to know the media, some of the guys out there on the squad. What's your time in Chicago been like so far, man?
It's been brief, but it's been fantastic. First time in Wrigley, like we just talked about, and Wrigley Field is beautiful. I grew up a Red Sox fan, but being able to experience the history of a place, not every park is like that. So, exploring briefly in Wrigley, it was really cool.
So how hard was the last series for you? Because growing up a Red Sox fan, obviously Boston taking 2 or 3 from the Cubs, you need to cheer for this team now, right?
Oh, yeah. People always were like, hey, if you get drafted by the Yankees or something, we're not going to root for the Yankees. Well, the minute I got drafted by the Chicago Cubs, I'm a Chicago Cubs fan.
Absolutely.
The Red Sox can, we'll put them to the side for now. So.
No doubt.
What are you doing here? Dansby's on the IL. Rossi needs a shortstop tonight. You got Mackenzie Gore-itis? Are you afraid of left-handed pitching?
Oh, I'd love left-handed pitchers. So. No.
Did you get a chance to take BP? There was a rumor that might happen.
No BP tonight for me. No BP. I would have loved to take BP, though.
You might not have gone to AA or AAA or whatever you're thinking right now. I mean, college, you've done everything. The Cape Cod MVP, the best shortstop in the country. Is there anything you're not good at? And your mom and dad's right over there, so.
Yeah, plenty of things I'm not good at, but no.
Psychology major, right?
Psychology major.
Okay.
So okay at psychology.
He's smart. He's talented.
Absolutely.
And I know one thing. Everybody talks about. We know your statistic. We've seen everything and all the awards and everything. But the people that I've talked to in the Cubs front office talked about the number one reason they drafted you was the type of person. Where'd that come from?
Oh, yeah. I have my family here. Obviously, my parents are a big part of that. My dad and my mom, obviously did a great job for me, and that's something I'm very thankful for. And that's something, for me that I really liked about the Cubs is that they cared about the type of people that they're picking. They cared about the type of people that they put in certain spots. And obviously everyone wants to win a World Series. That's the end goal. But, for them showing me their interest in the type of person that they're picking, the type of person that they're putting in certain jobs, whoever it may be. That's huge. That's what you want to hear about. And so for me, that makes me really, really excited about the Cubs.
Favorite player growing up?
Dustin Pedroia.
He's this tall.
And he's short.
I
ain't that tall either.
Dustin Pedroia, also an MVP, though.
I don't think it gets any better than that. Petey's a great friend of mine, and I'll make that connect. Have you met him?
I've never met him. I would love to.
You will. Now, I've also seen comparisons to Ian Kinsler because of your speed and power combination. Dan Uggla with that opposite field power. They're setting the bar pretty high right there, aren't they?
Oh, that's great. The comparisons are fantastic, but at the end of the day, I guess it's up to me to decide my own fate.
Okay, you've heard the comparisons. Is there anyone that you tried to model your game after coming up? Because when it comes to pop, a little more pop than Dustin Pedroia did when he was a collegiate.
Yeah, Dustin Pedroia was a big one for me, and it was kind of beyond the baseball, but how he approached the game, how he played the game, how he approached defense, how he approached base running. Like, he was a winning player. You go to the park and you watch Dustin Pedroia play, like, you just get the feeling like that guy, he gets it. Like, he just does something that other people don't. This pre-pitch hop, like he's jumping a foot in the air before getting ready for the pitch. And, those are the little things that you watch in the game as like a real baseball fan, and that's what makes a player so fun to watch. So that was something that I enjoyed.
Everybody talked, Terry Francona and everybody with the Red Sox talked about Pedroia and his leadership. If Big Papi would do something they shouldn't have done, it was Petey that would get in his face. Are you that type of leader?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think there's a lot of different types of leaders and a lot of different types of people you have in the clubhouse. Like, I think the most important part about leadership is understanding who you have to lead. Understanding the people around you, understanding when it's your place to say something and when it's not.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know exactly his relationship with David Ortiz, but I'm sure that they had
a good one.
I'm sure they had a tight relationship, and he felt confident doing that. But you have to understand. I'm sure that there's plenty of guys that don't respond to that as well. So, understanding the people that you're around too.
Did you respond to Dansby when he sent you a text?
Oh yeah, I called him. I just wanted to introduce
you did?
myself.
What was that about?
Yeah, we just talked. I said hello, nice to meet you. Thank you for the text. I appreciate it. It was really cool.
Did you tell him he was going to move over to third?
I did not, but I got misquoted, and I said that in my other interview. Someone already misquoted me, and it was like an hour after I got drafted. I was like, this is how it's going to be, huh? But yeah.
Shortstop by trade.
Yeah.
Shortstop, you can play third base, you can play second base. Is there any position on the field that you don't feel comfortable at?
Yeah, catcher.
Yeah, okay.
I wouldn't say I'd throw on the gear and be great, but hey, it is what it is. But love the outfield, love shortstop. Obviously, what made me love shortstop was that it's the hardest position on the field. Maybe besides catcher, I've never caught, but that was my attraction to shortstop. Like it's difficult, it's unique. There's an artwork to be able to play shortstop, and that's what attracted me to shortstop. Second base is great, and third base is great, and outfield is great, but nothing compares to shortstop.
I tell you something else that's difficult, playing in the Cape Cod League. That's the best of the best over there. I mean, there's a lot of guys you played with a year ago that you'll play with in the big leagues for a long time. Going to a wooden bat. Tell me what that experience was like. Obviously, you were the best player in the league. You were the MVP. What was it like for you?
Yeah, it was a blast. I mean, one thing, I have a buddy of mine, Evan Slade, and we got really close there. One thing that we did is when we got there, we're like, you know what, we're just going to have as much fun as possible. Like, enjoy this experience, learn everything we can from it. Jared Saltalamacchi was our bench coach, too, so he was awesome, a great guy.
Former catcher, great dude.
Great dude. So, just being up there and being with guys who love baseball, who love being around the game, like I'm sure you guys are, too, it's fun to be around people like that. And so, for me, it was a blast.
What was it like for you to learn from a guy like Jared Saltalamacchi, a former Boston Red Sox, the team that you grew up watching?
Oh, it was great. I mean, having him and being able to talk approach with him and sit in pitches with him and what a catcher knows is much different than a lot of position players because he's calling the game. So, getting that feel of how guys are attacking you, all that stuff, catchers get it right. They know how that stuff goes. So being able to talk to him about that stuff was awesome.
You saying that, Cole, it reminds me of, I was talking to Albert Pujols his rookie year, and a guy named Woody Williams, a veteran pitcher, was there, and Albert Pujols hit a home run off a veteran pitcher. And he came in, and like an inning later, he went up to Woody and he says, what's he going to do to me the next at bat? And Woody was like, what? And he goes, well, you're a veteran pitcher. He's a veteran pitcher. Like, what would you do? Like, I hit a breaking ball out of the ballpark. And like Woody goes, well, I'd start you off with a breaking ball out of the zone that you can't do anything with, and then you never see another one. But I can't let you eliminate something like that. Are those kind of the conversations? And what happened the very next at bat, breaking ball in the dirt, he spit on it and hit a fastball out.
Surprise.
Was that kind of the conversation with you and Jared?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's kind of the essence of hitting. That's what makes it so much fun and so cool is it is like a chess match. I mean, you have to think about all those things and that's what makes, great hitters great is they have a good feel for the game, a good awareness of what they're trying to do, and something that I have a long ways to go on. But, having those conversations is what makes it a little bit easier and learning along the way.
Sure does.
And in our short conversations, you seem to be a student of the game every single step of the way. Is that one thing you pride yourself on, being able to take knowledge and package it up, whether it be a catcher, a bench coach, an outfielder, whoever it is?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something that's helped me a lot through my baseball career is, there's a lot of thinking, for me at least, that goes into baseball. And, it's very different than other sports. I played soccer and I love soccer, but it was something about baseball is just so unique. And I think that's what makes it such an amazing game is that you do have to think a lot. You have to be aware. You have to understand the game. All those things are important to being successful.
So a few years ago, Theo Epstein saw Kyle Schwarber take BP, and he saw him hitting the game, and he told all the scouts to go home. He says, we got our number one pick. It's over with. I know who I'm taking. The front office, and I can't quote the guy that told me, said the same thing about the man right here. So, okay.
Yeah. And the numbers that you put up for the Maryland Terrapins, Sut touched on it, they were unbelievable. When you take a look at what you're able to do in college, how will that translate as a big leaguer?
Yeah, I mean, that's something I'm looking forward to finding out. I don't know my exact fate and how everything's going to work out, but I'm going to put all my effort into it and find a way to be successful, whatever that may look like. So, I'm really just looking for that opportunity.
And in our first conversation, I asked you what you were going to do, maybe a first reckless purchase. You know what this cat told me? He said he's going to buy a Cubs jersey. I mean, I don't think he has to buy Cubs jerseys from here on out. So let's just act like it's the first time I'm asking you this question. Hey, Matt, reckless purchase, first thing you're going to do as a big league, going to buy anything special?
I've thought about that a lot since you've asked me, and I still don't have a good answer to that. I really have no idea, and I'm really glad that I got the Cubs jersey I was looking for.
Mom and Dad are right over there.
Yeah.
I'd start there if I was you.
Yeah, we want to buy dad a car, mom something else, a house, maybe something like that. Who knows? But Hawaiian shirt night over at Wrigley Field tonight. How do you feel about Hawaiian shirts? Sut has a whole closet full of them.
I know that my friend Nick over there loves Hawaiian shirts, and he got himself one already. So He'll be all right.
Okay, Matt Shaw, he has a Hawaiian shirt. Everyone else in attendance, they'll have one as well. Matt, thanks so much for stopping by. The 13th overall selection by the Chicago Cubs and the future, maybe at shortstop, second base, third base, who knows. Matt, thanks for the time, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. And shout out to Friday at 1:20 for all the Cubs fans. I hear that's a big thing.
Absolutely. You have to go get one of those sweatshirts, green with the clock right on the front. Matt, good seeing
Awesome.
you, man.
Appreciate you guys.
I love it.